Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Nico,
And this is Marcus.
and welcome to Porch Talk. This episode isn't going to be very long. It's not going to be purpose driven in the fact that you're learning something new.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to talk about what we want to do moving forward with this podcast and what our intentions are, because I don't think we really clear cut that out to everybody. So,
Yeah, I think as we nail things down, we'll become more focused, and as we get more focused, we'll get a lot better at this. Yeah, man.
with that, I really just want to talk to interesting people. I mean, that's been my goal from the start, is I just want to talk to some interesting people, learn something new, and hopefully have someone listening learn something new. And that's really been my goal. And the first, probably, what was it, 7 episodes or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
when it was just you and I, we were sort of just feeling everything out. And I think now is the time to start moving forward. We're starting to get more interviews, and hopefully we're going to continue doing interviews at least once a week. I would love to do. I don't know if we have anyone planned for this week or not, but
Mm-hmm.
I really just want to talk to interesting people, like I said earlier. Not only that, I want to interact with you guys. Marcus had the great idea of doing like a Q&A once every other week or once a week, depending on our following. And also doing like giveaways and just giving back to our listeners, because you guys are the people that are helping us grow. I mean, it's not just us; it's hardly us,
Absolutely,
honestly.
man. It's hardly us. I mean, like you said, I'm just here to talk to interesting people. This podcast is a bit of an excuse, you know. This is how we're just like convincing the interesting people to sit down and talk to us. It's that they can put their message out there. They can, if they have a thing that they're involved in, they can increase the popularity of that. If they just want to make sure people know more about what they do, they can do that here, and that's what this is all about. We want to make sure that if you're listening, you get some kind of value out of each episode. You learn something from each episode. Something excites you. It's entertaining, whatever, you know.
And
We just
that's
want to give you something.
and that's the thing. I'm not even thinking about trying to make any money or advertising anything on this. I just want to I'm doing this all for free. I hardly have any intention, maybe later on down the line through something, maybe our own self-promotion or whatever, I would use that to help me make a couple extra bucks, but by no means am I wanting to flood you guys with advertisements for anything, honestly. I don't even want advertisements to be a thing on this. You heard it here first, but I just want to connect with everybody. And I think that's the biggest thing for me and Marcus both, I feel.
That's one thing my dad, when I first told him I was doing this podcast, he said, "Oh, okay." The next day he comes back having like looked up probably 11 million things about podcasting, and he said, "Hey, have you heard about this Joe Rogan guy? He makes like this much money off of ad revenue. He makes like this much money off of this." He started like naming off a bunch of people. He said, "You could make it big," and I'm like, "Well, thanks. I really do hope that I make it big. I really do want to get up to that level, but
I
not
don't want
about
to
the
do it
money.
in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to do it in the sense where
It's not
I
about the
have to
money.
name off 10 advertisements before the podcast even starts. I mean,
Exactly.
it's kind of fucking annoying, because I listen to podcasts, it's Joe Rogan especially. He spends like 10 minutes listing off advertisements, and it's like I have to skip 10 minutes ahead each time I listen to a damn episode.
And only 3 of them seem like genuine.
Yeah.
Like he does like 7, and he's like, whatever the fuck this is, you use it. He just doesn't care. But then
Yeah.
he's got like the 3 that he does love. I don't even imagine like us being able to like put our hearts into it.
Yeah,
Even for something I do love.
I mean,
It's difficult, man.
if it's something that aligns well with me, I could bear it, but I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to do it. I think it's stupid. Yeah, it's probably a decent amount of money, but that's not what I want in the long term. I want to be as connected as I can to you guys, the fans, or the followers, or the listeners, whatever you want to call it. And I just want to I want to give back. I would rather spend money on this podcast, which I have already, than gain money. because this is, I mean, I love doing this. I love talking to people. Every interview we've had, every episode I've had, I've loved, because it just goes well with my personality, my drive to talk, you know?
This is something I want to get better at too. Interviewing people. Not just for this podcast, but just in life. One of my favorite things is just talking with folks. All the networking events and things like that I've been at, all the collaborations that we've had with different clubs on campus. It's just very interesting, fun, and particularly useful to get to know people who are like-minded like yourself, or like-minded and so far that they share something that you have, same interests. And then finding out people who have completely wildly different interests. I met this guy who he learned about underwater welding. Like it's just a thing, if there's oil pipelines or whatever that need to go underwater. He learned about that and he said, "That's exactly what I'm going to do." And he's just dived nose deep into all of the things surrounding it, and it's just it's amazing. It's just amazing to see that passion and eke it out of people. I love it.
Yeah, and seeing their passion and seeing how circumstances have influenced their life is just, it's amazing to hear about, because you never know, someone else might have had something similar or the exact same thing happen to it, and they really feel for that, and I just want to help make that connection with everybody, whether it be getting into a severe car accident, rolling your car because of a bug, or being in professional sports. I mean, we can, at one point we can get anywhere if we grow and if we be consistent about it.
Absolutely. So, hearing that, I want to tell you listeners, followers, whatever you want to call yourselves, we need to come up with like a name for like our audience.
Porch talkers.
The porch talkers.
That's stupid. Just listeners. It doesn't matter.
All your talk heads out there. No.
Oh my God.
No, they're just listeners. Given that we want to put that good content out there, if you think you're that type of person who has something special or quirky or interesting or amazing, nerdy, I don't care. If you've got that thing, let us know about it. We'd love to bring any of you on. We're gonna get to a point where we got a number of microphones, so we're gonna, we aim high. We want to have as many guests on as we possibly can in the future.
Oh yeah, of course. And also, we've been thinking about doing Q&As. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but I would love to just get a bunch of questions from you guys so we can answer them to the best of our abilities, of course, and from our perspective. Because again, that's just a good way to interact with you guys. And also, I'm thinking about doing sometime either next week or 2 weeks from now a giveaway for iTunes reviews and Instagram follows for our podcast account. So look out for that. It'll probably be a gift card or maybe some T-shirts. I don't know yet. I'm trying to talk to my connection at Bearded Goat to see if they can throw some T-shirts our way. So anything to give back to you guys, like I said.
That's a great idea, man. Yeah. Also along the idea of, if you think you have something you want to talk about, if you know somebody in your life, if they're a professor, if they're a coworker, if there's some random person at your church, whatever, that you think has a lot to talk about, a lot of life to share with other people, send them our way. Tell them, hey, I got a buddy who runs a podcast, and I know a lot of folks who would love to hear from you. So, I love that too.
Yes, like I said, everything is spread by you guys. I've literally only spent like $4 in advertisements on Instagram, and that's about the extent of our advertising from us. So I really want this to grow organically, no matter how long it takes. And again, I'm gonna be as honest and just real with you as I can. I mean, that's one thing I hate, is someone being fake and just not genuine, you know?
What Nico's trying to say is he's a really great guy. He's learned a lot in his life, and he just wants to and he wants to make he's made a lot of mistakes in his life. He's a terrible person. He wants to make sure that you don't make any of those mistakes.
Yeah, hey. Don't be a teenage dad, I guess.
Oh damn. No. I think Nico's a great guy. I think that he, like every one of us, you know, we slip and fall, and we've got a lot of life to share with other people. And if you listen to this guy, pull up a chair, grab a drink, and he's got a lot to teach you. Yeah.
Anyway, with that being said, again, look out for the giveaway. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be for iTunes, Apple Podcasts, ratings and reviews, and follows on our social media. So just keeping you guys up to date on that.
I'm going to go retroactively through the folks who've already followed us on Twitter in particular, because we don't have too many followers on Twitter. So just want to shout it out at @talk_porch. To the folks who've already followed us, I'm going to put you in a list. Do you think we should do like a raffle type thing?
It'll be random.
Yeah,
something random.
We'll do like a random raffle drawing. Get on in there, and then also you said if you leave the review.
Yeah, ratings and review on iTunes or Apple Podcast, whatever that is actually called.
Yeah, we'll make sure we announce the raffle like at least a week or so before we pull it, and just stay tuned on all our social media to find out if you won or not.
All right, guys. Well, this has been a short episode, like I said, but it was really just to keep everybody up to date on what's going on and what we're going to do moving forward. So to recap it all, we are going to do a Q&A at least once every other week, if not once a week. And we are going to be focusing mainly on the interviews. And it's not like we're not going to do like our Marcus and I talks every once in a while. It's just I feel like you guys would gain more out of hearing these unique people, you know? And with that being said, follow us on social media at porch_talk_podcast on iTunes. And what was the Twitter?
At talk_porch.
And also our individual accounts, Nico_libs for Instagram.
And Mark Barry Bush on Instagram and Twitter.
All right, guys.
I've been Marcus.
I've been Nico.
And this was Porch Talk. Thanks for listening.